I am doing a live listen to the Clippers and the Mavericks game 6. Obviously, Dallas is going to want this series wrapped tonight. It is a 1-point game with less than 3 to go before halftime, with Mavericks on top, 43-42. Um, you know, Dallas wins tonight, that's it. Series over. Dallas moves on to round 2. If the Clippers win, tie series comes down to game 7 this weekend. So Clippers fans want to see a game 6 win. They want to see game 7 because it will be played in LA this weekend if game 7 gets forced. So I've been doing a live listen on my ESPN app, and so that's the background you hear if you can hear it. Yeah, I'm not really too concerned with baseball tonight because it's game 6 in round 1. And baseball is, well, still in the regular season. We're not even halfway through the baseball season yet. That won't happen until next month when we hit the All-Star break, July 12th, 12, 13, somewhere around there. Those two dates sound right. But, we do have some baseball. Holy crap, Astros. They kicked the crap out of the Blue Jays, 13-1. That game actually just ended. Hometown team for me around here, in southern Indiana, is the Reds. So we got a 4-1 ball game, top of the 6th. Runner in scoring position on second, with 2 out. Let's see who's at bat there. Let's see. It's if my app will load and tell me the game cast, or show me the game cast, but I guess it doesn't want to. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games still being played. Obviously, the last game just started. It's the Mets and the Padres, game 2 of that series. The Mets tried to come back and win last night, but it was for naught. I mean, hey, you can't win them all. That final score was 4-3, so they did come within a run. After being down 2-0 for most of the game. I saw something on Twitter in regards to that game. I guess from what it looked like, from what I observed on the video, is that Yu Darvish had like a substance on the corner of his mitt and was rubbing it on the baseball. So whether officials caught onto that or not, it definitely looked like he was rubbing a foreign substance from his baseball glove onto the ball every time he would come back up for a pitch. At least that's what it looked like to me, and what it looked like to a bunch of others. Let's see if maybe I can find that tweet. Yeah, I don't know how well everybody can see that. Here we go. Come on, play. You see what it looks like is that top portion of the baseball glove, and then all of a sudden he starts rubbing around on the baseball. So that any logical person would think he's got some kind of foreign substance that is you know, not legal to use in baseball because God forbid pitchers are able to use a substance to keep a clear grip on the ball because, tiny little ball. We've seen pitches get away from pitchers and, you know, batters get hit. I mean, Kevin Pillar got nailed in the face 2 weeks ago in the Braves game. And, you can tell when a pitch is intentional. And, anybody that saw that game, that saw those highlights, that was not intentionally thrown at Pillar. Like, watching that pitch, I was actually on another live stream with some friends. When I saw that highlight, not only did my heart sink because I'm a Mets fan, but as a sports fan in general, you never want to see any player, no matter how much you love them, hate them, indifferent, you don't want to see him get hurt like that. And the amount of blood that just poured from his nose because he was hit right in this area here, and he had to have minor reconstructive surgery. He's back in the lineup, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, he is back in the lineup. I do know that the Mets did reactivate him from the injury list. Sorry, I'm such an old school baseball fan that I still call it the disabled list or the DL. So, let's see. What other scores do we have going on? We have hockey, because the Stanley Cup playoffs are going on right now. Canadiens and Jets, that's turning out to be a feisty series. In the first game between those two teams, one of the Jets players completely beamed one of the Canadian players to the point that the Canadian player was taken off the ice on a stretcher. He was down for about 8 minutes. And that's scary to see no matter what. But from what I read, he gave a thumbs up as he was being stretchered off the ice. So he was conscious and aware of his surroundings, which you always want to see that no matter what team or player or anything. And now it looks like the Clippers game has gone to halftime, and the Clippers are ahead 48-45. So this is definitely, if you're not watching this game, it is a game to watch. Let's see. I keep hearing Luka's name from these announcers, so let's see what his stats are for the game so far. Okay, now that's Clippers. Alright, so he's played most of the game except for 1 minute, I think, or something like that. 5 minutes. No, 5 minutes. Because each quarter is 12 minutes in basketball. So he has played 19 minutes. He's 5 of 11 on field goals, 0 for 3 on three-pointers. He's had 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 personal fouls, and he's got 15 points on the game. So let's see. Anybody worth talking about from the Clippers side? Rajon Rondo. Didn't realize that he was still playing. He's come off the bench and played 6 minutes with 1 assist. Okay, Paul George has played 22 minutes, 3 of 7 on field goals, 1 for 4 on three-point attempts, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 personal foul, and 11 points on the game so far. So, okay, Kawhi Leonard. Got to talk about him. He's played for 20 minutes, 7 of 11 on field goals, 1 for 3 on three-pointers, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, no personal fouls, and 16 points on the game. So, this is like a pretty defensive game for the most part, because not just one player from either team is getting all the points or getting all the stats. We'll see if anybody lands a triple-double tonight. Let's see. Porzingis, not a whole lot going on for him. He's played 14 minutes. He's 50% on his field goals, 50% on his three-pointers, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 5 points. So everybody's kind of getting the ball a little bit. Looks like Boban was part of the starting 5 for the Mavs. Yeah, and that's where we're at with that game. For those that don't know, a game is being played on ESPN right now. So, there's that. We do have another hockey game on. The Avalanche and Golden Knights. That is game 3. And Colorado leads the series 2-0. That game just started on NBC Sports Network, or NBCSN for the abbreviation. About 3.5 minutes into the game. So let's see. Marlins and Pirates. Wow. Pittsburgh kind of woke up. It's 9-2 Pittsburgh. It's actually very surprising considering how Pittsburgh's been playing this year. Of course, it's Pittsburgh. Nobody really cares. That game is going into top of the 9th. All they need is 3 outs and they win. White Sox and Tigers. It's a 7-2 ball game. Tigers have runners in scoring position. Top of the 7th, nobody out. D-backs and Brewers. Diamondbacks have a runner on first, top of the 8th with 1 out, and they are down 4-0. I feel like the Reds game has been in the 6th inning for like forever. I say that, and now it suddenly goes to the 7th inning. Oh, sorry. It's been a long day. I went to a 6-year-old's birthday party. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a lot of fun. There was a petting zoo with lots of animals. So, there were baby pigs. And the baby pigs, little piglets, were all of 4 weeks old. And they were so cute. Like, I could put them in my son's diaper bag if I wanted to. Both of them. But I didn't. Because, well, I have nowhere in my house to keep them. And I am not equipped to raise baby pigs. So the Reds are still leading going into the 7th inning. They're up by 3. And it looks like Suarez, Winker, and Castellanos are up in the batting order. And the 3 of them have not been that productive. Let's look at the box score. Okay. So, Suarez, 0 for 3, 0 for 3, 0 for 2, 1 for 3, 0 for 1. Had a pinch hitter, 0 for 1, 0 for 2. India's 1 for 1. He's scored 2 runs, 2 ribbies. He's drawn 2 walks. Castillo is 1 for 1. 1 for 3. Blandino, 0 for 1, and Freeman, 0 for 1. I guess they had a double switch at one point. So, Castillo has pitched 6 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 1 run, issued 1 walk, and has 5 strikeouts. So, not too bad. So it looks like the pinch hitter was for who was playing center field. So Akiyama is in the game. Mariners and Angels, that game is in the bottom of the 3rd. Mariners lead 2-0. Cubbies and Giants, bottom of the 2nd. Giants have runners on 1st and 2nd with 1 out. And then the Mets and Padres, bottom of the 1st, 2 out, nobody on. Padres are up 1-0. And here, we got a rivalry series going on. Well, it's finished for the day, but I'm sure it was game 1. And that is the Red Sox and the Yankees, one of the classic baseball rivalries. Boston won that game 5-2. Yeah, apparently, statistically this season, the Yankees have not done that great when they are down by 3 runs. In fact, they're like, I think the statistic said 0 for 15 when they're behind 3 runs, and they ultimately end up losing the game? What the hell happened to the Bronx Bombers? Somebody figure that out and tell me, because I have no idea. And then looks like we had the Orioles and Indians playing. Orioles won that game. Then had the Nats and Philly. The Nats won. Oh, hey, some tennis. The French Open. Or, as it's otherwise known, it's the Roland Garros. Sponsored by Lacoste. I know that because I used to work for Lacoste. It's a crocodile, not an alligator. Just have to throw that in there. Because I had to I used to correct people a lot when they were asked for the little alligator right over here. I was like, it's not an alligator, it's a crocodile. Let's see. Serena won in 2 sets. And sorry, if you hear a bunch of rambunctiousness, that's my cats. What can I say? I'm a cat mom too. Yeah, so 2 sets, 6-4, 6-4. She beat a fellow American, so she's on to the next round. Let's see. Medvedev is on to the next one. Tsitsipas is on to the next one. Let's see. Djokovic plays tomorrow at 8. Nadal at 9:30. And Federer at 3 p.m. for some more third round action. Yep, so Tsitsipas and Medvedev are both now in the 4th round. So tomorrow rounds out round 3 for the men. Let's see, for the women, let's go back. Tomorrow is the rest of round 3. At noon, we have Coco Gauff against Brady. So I would love to see Coco go on to the 4th round. She is an up-and-coming young tennis player that reminds a lot of people of Serena, if, I mean, you can even make such a comparison. So it's crazy to think about. But, you know, one day Serena and Venus will hang up their rackets and, you know, pass the proverbial torch down to, you know, Naomi Osaka is one that's coming up, and I would have loved to have seen her in this slam, but good on her for what she did, for withdrawing for her own mental health. You know, I have a lot of mental health problems myself, and for her to put her mental health first and foremost above her sport, good on her. And seeing so many athletes, you know, back her, that shows camaraderie. You know, and then, you know, so like I was saying, Serena and Venus aren't going to play tennis forever. You know, will they forever be immortalized in the tennis world? Abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, they're two of the greatest tennis players alongside, you know, Billie Jean King comes to mind. If, you know, you're a tennis fan, you know who Billie Jean King is. So watching Naomi Osaka and Coco Gauff, you know, give a lot of these older tennis players a run for their money, literally and figuratively. You know, it's nice to see. And then on the men's side, you've got Medvedev and Tsitsipas, you know, pretty much challenging the big 3 in tennis. You know, Federer, Djokovic. Freaking Djokovic it has held the number 1 spot for, God, I don't even know how many weeks he's been at number 1 now. I kind of lost count. So Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer. I mean, it used to be the big 4, as Andy Murray was like, you know, it went back and forth between them, and then the slams really just ended up going between Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal. So that's well, we had some soccer going on. I believe the U.S. actually won their World Cup qualifier yesterday against Honduras. So it was the CONCACAF qualifier. Had some international friendlies. We CONMEBOL. Brazil and Ecuador. I'm kind of curious about where they played at. Just because of everything that's going on in South America between the civil unrest, anti-government protests, and COVID spikes, it's kind of puzzling as to where the CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers were going to be held, because it was supposed to be a joint thing between Argentina and Colombia. But Colombia is dealing with a lot of anti-government protests, a lot of civil unrest due to those protests, and then Argentina offered to host the entire tournament, but their proposal was turned down. Brazil, they're dealing with COVID spikes. So I believe that recently Argentina dealt with some COVID positive spikes of their own. So ultimately, the World Cup qualifier was moved elsewhere. Let me see. Okay, it's moved out of Argentina and Colombia. Oh, it's actually been being hosted in Brazil. That's an interesting development. Especially considering, all of the COVID spikes in Brazil. Okay. Alright, let's bring the ESPN app back up. And still sitting at a 3-point game. We're just barely into the third quarter. Clippers still have the lead 50-47. So each team has scored 2 points apiece since the beginning of the quarter. Okay, and we got a 1-point game now, 52-51. All right. And magically, Dallas now goes ahead, and the Clippers take a full team timeout with 9.5 to go. I will never understand. So, still a 1-point game. Dallas now has the lead back, 53-52.
Gives it up to Hardaway. He'll pass to Boban in the lane. Jackson with 17 inside to Boban, flips it up and gets the rattle. 2 more on the board for Bobby.
All right, so let's see now. I'm gonna have to reset the app. I really wish I could watch this game live, because it definitely looks like it's an ankle biter.
Off the hands of Batum and out of bounds as Doncic went for the steal. How did that not hit the hands of Doncic who went for it? That's the argument for Ty Lue on the far
Okay,
side.
so it looks like the audio from from this game is behind the actual score by about one play.
Paul George to Luka, jump pass ahead. This is Finney Smith feeding Porzingis, who flies down the lane and flushes for the Dallas lead. Timeout, Los Angeles.
Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. Still at a timeout. Let's see. So that now gives Porzingis 7 points. Okay, so that's where we stand. I am probably going to come back after the game is over and do like a little recap, or, just be like, oh my god, whoever won, I'm going to, recap that. But it looks like this game is going to be a real nail biter. Because like I said in the very beginning, Dallas wants to wrap this series. The Clippers want to win this game and force Game 7 so that the series comes back to LA this weekend. And that's really all I've got right now. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging with me. I will see you guys at the end of the fourth quarter. See ya.